Hi, I'm Lois. Welcome to Everyday Yoga. Today we're actually talking about every night yoga, how we can sleep in positions that are more healthy for our spines, for our necks, for our heads, for our hips, for our legs. So we have all these options for bedding, all kinds of pillows, all kinds of mattresses. There's no one formula that's going to work for every body. So I'm going to show you a series of different sleeping positions and how they're best done. So there's no one sleeping position that's going to work for every body. So I'm going to address several different positions and show you how they're best, how you'll be most comfortable. So first one, side sleepers. Very common. I happen to be one myself. Side sleepers curl up on one side and basically return to the fetal position. This feels very safe. We feel protected. It's like being back in the womb. However, you can probably see that this isn't so great for my neck and my shoulders. My shoulders are collapsed forward. They're rounded. My neck is jammed, and I'm also tightening up the front of my hips, what's called the psoas muscle. So we've got to do a little rearranging here. Now, a pillow is a good idea for a side sleeper, but how high should the pillow be? The pillow should be high enough that it clears the distance between your shoulder and the side of your head. If you have broad shoulders, you're going to need a pretty high pillow. This one isn't quite high enough or firm enough for me. I need a little more support. A little better, but I'm still having to fluff it up to get that angle. So ideally, I would say that if these were my only pillows, I would use both of them. Again, I happen to have broad shoulders. Those of you with narrow shoulders will not need this much height. This is too high. Now my head is angled. If I can get my head level and that space between my shoulder and my neck clear, I'm good to go. Now, what that's helping to do is align the bottom shoulder, so it doesn't have to be pulled out of the socket like this, rounding the back. It's actually kind of underneath me. Some of you may even find it more comfortable to take that upper arm overhead like this. Fine. The other arm will tend to fall forward like this and round the shoulder. So simplest way to reverse that is just put your hand on your hip like this. If that doesn't feel stable enough, or you've gotten in the habit of having the arm forward, then again I would take a couple pillows high enough to reach your shoulder height, so that when you have your arm in front of you, your elbow, your wrist, and your shoulder are all the same height. That way nothing is rounding. Finally, we've got the legs. Knees together is often a little too much internal rotation for the hips. So a little spacer between the knees will be much more comfortable. And as you can see, it's not perfect. I still have to wiggle around a lot to find a place that feels relatively good. This is pretty good for me. However, if you have a tight psoas front of the hips, the more you can unbend your knees, the better. If you could even sleep with your legs straight like this on your side, that would completely clear that contraction in the front of the hip. It may not seem important, but we spend, many of us, at least 8 hours in bed at night. A lot of damage gets done when we're not paying attention. So just a little time to set up. I'm not saying you'll be able to retain this, but at least set the intention, and you'll gradually be reprogramming your body. So that's the rules for the side sleepers.